Hey Canucks fans, do the Canucks have 4 of the top 100 forwards in the entire NHL? I'm Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCBC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Monday, August the 26th. I want to say a thank you to all of you subscribers and viewers. I quietly surpassed the 4,000 subscriber mark over the weekend. It was kind of funny, actually. I was getting more subscribers as I posted no videos. It's weird. Maybe people like it when I don't post videos. That doesn't make sense intuitively, but who knows? But I went over the 4,000 mark, and I really want to thank you. It was a slow climb, but I actually don't have FOMO. I don't have the fear of missing out. I don't compare myself to other vloggers. I think many people are doing some really, really good work out there. And so I'm not worried about colleagues of mine that are reaching 9,000, 10,000 way quicker than I am. I think that's awesome. And I give them all the props for their hard work. But for me, I want to thank you. I want to thank you if you watch just one video or all 900 of them. Thank you for the time of your life that you will never, ever get back. And I appreciate that you could be doing anything else. You could be watching anyone else, basically anything else in the world, yet you're taking a few minutes out of your day sometimes to watch these videos. So thank you. And I do appreciate you. And I don't take that for granted. And for all you watching that have smaller channels, maybe you're just breaking into this, or you have less than whatever your goal is. You only have 100 subscribers or 10 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers, whatever it is. Just keep on doing what you're doing. Don't worry about the numbers. And I say that, make sure that a small bit of advice, make sure that you're doing this because you love doing it, not because you're trying to make money or break the internet or go viral, simply because you love doing this. And that passion, that joy is going to come out in what you are doing. Okay, so thanks again. I appreciate it. It'll probably be about 8 years until I get to 5,000, but we will celebrate that when we get to that. Okay, today I want to continue what I was talking about last Friday when I was talking about the Canucks getting, the improvement of the Vancouver Canucks, getting notice around the league. And over the weekend, NHL.com released their whole fantasy kind of package where they talk about, everything from ranking first line power play units to second power play units to top D-men to top goalies to sleepers to whatever it may be, to top rookies, and of course to top forwards. And that's what I want to get to today. They did a couple lists. It's kind of confusing. They did a top 250 overall that had forwards, goalies, and D-men. And then they did their own top forwards, top D-men, top goalies. I'll probably get to those throughout the week. But today I do want to talk about the top forwards. They ranked the top 100 forwards, and the Vancouver Canucks had, did I say something else? The Vancouver Canucks had 4 forwards in that top 100. No surprise. They had Elias Pettersson at number 22, Brock Boeser at number 47, Bo Horvat at number 84, and JT Miller sneaking in at number 99. Now, intuitively, that would make sense that with 100 players, 100 forwards to rank, and 31 teams in the NHL, the average would be just over 3. So if in a perfectly even parity type world, every team would have 3 players in that top 100, and then 9 teams. No, that's bad math. 3 times 31 is 93. Only 7 teams would have maybe a 4th player in there. Well, the Canucks, if we would go by perfect math, the Canucks are one of those 7 teams that have 4 players in there. And of course, some teams will have I'm sure, I didn't look at the list completely, but I'm sure teams like the Tampa Bay Lightning have more than 3 or 4 players in there, and there are other teams that have less. But the Canucks do have 4, so that's good. They're hovering at just above the league average in that. So on one ranking, they had those 4 guys: Pettersson at 22, Boeser at 47, Horvat at 84, JT Miller at 99. And those were the top 100 fantasy forwards. And that's not just points, right? That also includes plus minus and power play points and time on ice and hits and shots. Basically anything that any type of fantasy league would pile into statistical categories. But then they did another ranking, a list of projected point totals. And because it was by different authors, it wasn't exactly a perfect, a lineup. It wasn't a perfect, the 2 lists weren't exactly the same in order. But intuitively, the Canucks point totals that they projected were. So that's what I want to talk about today. They had Pettersson at 77 points, Brock Boeser at 66 points, Horvat at 62 points, and JT Miller at 54 points. So the same order of Pettersson, Boeser, Horvat, and Miller, the same order as the top 100. But again, these were points. And they tried to take into account, potential injuries or missed games, whatever it may be. And so I don't want to get into too much about, they didn't project the game totals. They just projected points. So let's talk about each of these 4 really quickly. And then I love your comments down below if you kind of agree with these projections. Elias Pettersson, they had at 77 points. So if he's to play between 75 and 82 games, then that would be a point per game pace. If he played all 82 games, that's a tiny bit less than a point per game. We Canuck fans would like to think he's more than a point per game, but they projected him at 77 points. And that would be good. That would be an 11-point increase over his 66-point campaign last year. Of course, those 66 points came in only 71 games, right? He had 2 injury stints, the concussion and the knee injury. So 77 points for Pettersson. I think that's good. I think Canucks fans would be happy with anything over 75 points. They would expect actually anything over 70, 75 points building on that 66-point season. And again, whether that's 75 games, 80 games, 82 games, he's always going to hover around a point per game. We love him to see more than a point per game, but I think 77 points is a fair projection. Maybe a bit low. I would hope for about 80 or so, but that's splitting hairs at this point. That's very close. Brock Boeser they have at 66 points, which is basically extrapolated what he would have got if he played all the games this season. He only played in 69 games this season. Remember, he missed a lot of time at the start of the year as he recovered from a couple of injuries. He had 56 points in those 69 games. To extrapolate that, it comes close to the mid-60s. So 66 points. I think that's they're presuming a healthy Brock Boeser, not missing 13 games, and that of course is a whole year playing with Pettersson, a healthy Pettersson, both at even strength and of course on the power play. So 66 points for Brock Boeser. I think that's about right. I don't think he'll be a point per game guy, but he certainly should be a 0.75, 0.8 point per game guy, and that's what 66 points is. Then they have Bo Horvat. They project him at 62 points, and he had 61 points last season. A career high for him. He played in all 82 games. He was our Iron Man. So basically, NHL is predicting the exact same season. Instead of 61 points, they're predicting 62 points for Bo Horvat. I hope that he can play all 82. It might not happen, but he won't have to play as heavy minutes given the better forwards in Miller and Ferland and Pettersson, of course, improving. So maybe, and then Sutter, hopefully, and Beagle staying healthy as well. So maybe Horvat plays not so hard minutes and will be even more effective when it comes to scoring on the offensive end. So they predict 62 points for Bo Horvat. And then you have 54 points for JT Miller. Last year was a bit of an off season. He only played 75 games and he had 47 points. Still not bad. That's still top 6 material. But he's had seasons of 55 and 56, 58 points before. So NHL.com predicting 54 points for JT Miller. I think that'll be great whether he plays with Pettersson, Boeser, or Horvat and Pearson. He's going to get first line power play time. So I think 50 to 55 points is indeed realistic for JT Miller. So once again, 77 for Pettersson, 66 for Boeser, 62 for Horvat, and 54 for JT Miller. Canucks fans, what do you think? Do you think those are proper point projections? Would love to hear your predictions down below. We have a lot of time to do these kind of things as we wait for training camp to start, as we still have about 5 weeks before the actual season starts. So whether we're in hockey pools or doing fantasy leagues or simply predicting what's going to happen for the Canucks, projecting what's going to happen, we have a lot of time to talk about point total. So what do you think about that? 77 Pettersson, 66 Boeser, 62 Horvat, and 54 Miller. And are there any other Canucks forwards that are going to surpass JT Miller for number 4? Maybe Michael Ferland, maybe Sven Baertschi, maybe Tanner Pearson, but I think we are safe with those 4 guys. I would love to hear what you think, Canucks fans. Leave a comment below about those 4. Maybe put your point predictions, your point projections down below, and then we can compare and contrast your predictions to what NHL.com has for these 4 forwards among the top 100 in the entire league. Leave a comment. I love to read, react, and reply as always. Subscribe if you like to, like this video if you like to. Enjoy the day. God bless. Go Canucks, go.